of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
We begin on the eve of World War I. The Russian Empire, which has been ruled for 3 centuries by the Romanov dynasty, now covers about 1/6 of the world's land area. The country's industry is doing well, mainly due to the large production of steel, coal, and oil, but working conditions are very difficult. The country is populated by just over 170 million people, the vast majority of whom are poor, ill-equipped peasants linked to communities called obshinas. From a military point of view, the country has the largest army in the world, with about 6 million soldiers, but they are less well-equipped and trained than in other countries, notably Germany, which has the strongest army in the world. From a diplomatic point of view, Russia, France, and the United Kingdom form the Triple Entente, which opposes the Triple Alliance of Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. Finally, in the Balkans, tension rises between Austria-Hungary, which wants to extend its empire, and Russia, which wants to protect the Slavic and Orthodox peoples. On June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo, the heir to the Austrian throne and his wife are assassinated by a Bosnian Serb nationalist. In retaliation, Austria-Hungary, supported by Germany, declares war on Serbia. Russia, allied with Serbia, decrees a general mobilization, and within days, the First World War breaks out. St. Petersburg, the Russian capital, is renamed Petrograd in order not to have a German-sounding name. The members of the Triple Entente agree not to sign a separate peace treaty with the Central Powers. Russia launches 2 offensives, one in East Prussia, which is repulsed, and another in Galicia, which is successful. In the south, the Ottoman Empire joins the Central Powers and closes the straits that link the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, isolating Russia. In 1915, while the Western Front is frozen in trenches, Germany launches a major offensive against Russia, seizing many territories. Millions of refugees wander all over the country, while industry is running at full speed for the war, to the detriment of civilian needs. Inflation and rationing make the people angry, while the war drags on and the morale of the troops is at its lowest. Strikes are organized everywhere. In Petrograd, they turn into an uncontrollable armed revolution, which forces Emperor Nicholas II to abdicate, marking the end of the Romanov dynasty. A provisional government is set up and tries to calm the situation, but it chooses to continue the war in accordance with the commitment made to its allies. On the fronts, more and more exhausted and discontented soldiers desert. In the countryside, the peasants attack the rich properties and take over the cultivable land. In the factories, supply shortages put more and more workers out of work, which provokes new strikes. Powerless, the provisional government is unable to control the country. In Petrograd, the Bolshevik Party, with Vladimir Lenin at its head, takes advantage of the chaos to start a new revolution and to seize power. The party wants immediate peace, redistribution of land to the peasants, workers' control in the factories, and equality and emancipation of minorities, easily gaining the support of a large part of the population. A call for peace without annexation or compensation is launched in Europe, and a ceasefire is signed with the Central Powers. In addition, the Bolsheviks cancel the country's debts, provoking the anger of former allies. In the country, men took advantage of the situation to proclaim their independence, forcing the Bolsheviks to react to avoid losing access to certain vital resources, such as Azeri oil, Caucasian metals, or Ukrainian wheat. But on February 9, 1918, Germany and its allies officially recognized Ukraine. In reaction, the Bolsheviks interrupt the peace negotiations. Germany resumes the offensive and quickly seizes large territories, forcing the Bolsheviks to sign an unfavorable peace treaty. The Bolsheviks therefore must recognize many independences and cede territories to the Ottoman Empire, losing 1/3 of the population and access to many resources. This is the end of World War I for Russia, but its former allies do not recognize the treaty and prepare forces to support the anti-Bolshevik militias. Fearing that Petrograd will be invaded, Lenin moves the capital to Moscow in the heart of the area he controls. All around, rebel armies and governments are organizing. In the east, the Czechoslovak Legion rebels and takes control of the Trans-Siberian Railway, threatening, among others, Yekaterinburg, where the Romanov family is detained. They are then executed to prevent them from returning to the throne. In the south, the Volunteer Army, reinforced by Cossacks, control the North Caucasus region. In Europe, World War I ends with the defeat of the Central Powers. The Bolsheviks immediately annul the treaty signed with the Central Powers, and their armies enter the lost territories. On the other side, France, the United Kingdom, the United States, and Japan, among others, strengthen their support for the rebel armies, called the White Armies, while the Bolshevik Red Army is reorganized and strengthened by the Commissar of Military and Naval Affairs, Leon Trotsky. Lenin now dreams of exporting the Bolshevik Revolution to the whole of Europe, passing through Poland, provoking a war. Further north, a third White Army is threatening Petrograd. In the countryside, peasants are forming green armies that fight on the one hand against the Bolsheviks, who requisition crops by force, and on the other hand against the White Armies, whose leaders want to restore the old system and give back the cultivable lands to the rich owners. Finally, independence militias are organized throughout the country, which is completely fractured. The Red Army gradually gains the upper hand, but is in trouble with the Poles, who seize Kiev. A counterattack pushes them back to the gates of Warsaw, where the Red Army is defeated and pushed back in turn. After negotiations, peace is signed, and a new border is fixed between the two powers, with Poland obtaining the recognition of a large territory. After defeating the last rebel pockets, on December 30th, 1922, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or the USSR, is proclaimed, bringing together 4 republics. December 30th, 1922, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or the USSR, is proclaimed, bringing together 4 republics. After 8 years of war, the country is devastated. 8% of the pre-war population has died, while 7 million orphans roam the streets. Internationally, the Soviet Union finds itself isolated. Only Germany, also isolated, makes a rapprochement. The USSR secretly offers Germany to rearm on its territory, which goes against the Treaty of Versailles. In January 1924, Lenin dies. In a few years, Joseph Stalin dismisses his main competitor, Trotsky, and puts in place his policies. To revive the country's economy, he plans to massively develop industry. To finance this project, Stalin relies on increasing agricultural production by collectivizing agriculture. The kulaks, that is, the peasant owners, are expropriated and sent to work camps or are forced to join communities called kolkhozes or sovkhozes. Resistance is organized and repression intensified. Many families flee the countryside and move to the cities. The forced labor camps fill up quickly, and an administration called Gulag is set up to manage them. Prisoners have to build railroads, canals, or cities in remote and hostile areas in order to exploit resources such as coal or metals. In the countryside, after a bad harvest in 1931, Stalin accuses the peasants of deliberately sabotaging his objectives. He then confiscates all the crops, condemning millions of peasants to starvation in Ukraine, the North Caucasus, and Kazakhstan. On the western side, the Wall Street crash of 1929 provoked a severe world economic crisis. Germany is hit hard, which favors parties of the extreme. Hitler comes to power and quickly attacks the country's communists, which leads to tensions with the USSR. Completely isolated, the Soviet Union tries a moderate rapprochement with the Western powers. In 1934, it's admitted to the League of Nations. The same year, in Leningrad, Sergei Kirov, an important member of the party, is assassinated. In retaliation, Stalin organizes a violent repression against all those suspected of being political opponents. Over 2 years, around 700,000 people, mostly from minority groups, are sentenced to death. Internationally, Germany and Japan form an anti-communist alliance. The Soviet Union feels more and more in danger, fearing to be caught between two fronts, especially since the League of Nations seems to be useless when managing a conflict. The USSR has to choose its side between Germany and its allies and the Western powers, which seem powerless to counter the rise of Germany. In May 1939, a border conflict between Japanese Manchukuo and Mongolia, allied with the USSR, provokes a war between the two powers. The Soviet Union fears a German intervention in the West, but the latter is preparing its invasion of Poland and is even showing interest for a diplomatic rapprochement. The USSR chooses its side and signs a non-aggression pact with Germany. A secret protocol defines the spheres of influence in Eastern Europe. Poland will be divided, and the Baltic states, Finland, and Bessarabia will come under Soviet influence. Germany then begins the invasion of Poland, which triggers the Second World War. After its victory against Japan, the USSR joins the German offensive and takes over eastern Poland. The Soviet Union then wants to negotiate a change of borders with Finland in order to repel any threat to Leningrad. But Finland refuses, and the war begins. Despite their clear numerical superiority, the Red Army, badly prepared and less well equipped against the cold, struggles to impose itself. Finally, the USSR wins, and the border is pushed back. But the war was a fiasco for the Red Army, which did not go unnoticed by Hitler. The USSR then seizes the Baltic states and Bessarabia after political and diplomatic pressure. For its part, Germany subjugated almost all of Europe, with only the United Kingdom still resisting. Spies warned Stalin of an imminent German attack, but he underestimates the threat. On June 22, 1941, Germany and its allies launched the largest military offensive in history against the USSR, with three main objectives: Leningrad in the north, Moscow in the center, and the resources of Ukraine and the Caucasus in the south. Finland takes the opportunity to join the offensive in order to recover its lost territories. Taken by surprise, the Red Army is totally overwhelmed. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers are taken prisoner, condemned to starve to death in camps. Behind the front line, German mobile militias massacred Jews and Bolsheviks. Step by step, the Soviet Union organizes itself and moves its factories and pieces and a large part of its population to the east, applying a scorched earth policy to leave no resources to the Germans. The armies are reorganized, and deserters and defeatists are executed. Stalin organizes the country's resistance in the name of patriotism. The entire population is involved in the war effort and has to work day and night to speed up military production. Internationally, the Soviet Union becomes a de facto ally and receives support from the United Kingdom and the United States. The German armies reach and besiege Leningrad and come dangerously close to Moscow. But the Soviet armies, reinforced by troops coming from the east, where a non-aggression pact had been signed with Japan, counterattack while a harsh winter is falling, which puts the Germans, who are less well equipped, at risk. The front line is pushed back and then stabilized. A few few months later, Hitler launches a new offensive, this time only concentrated towards the south with the objective of the Caucasus Petroleum. In Stalingrad, the Germans face fierce resistance. For 5 months, an average of 6,000 Soviets die every day to defend the city at all costs. On November 19, 1942, the Soviets counterattack outside the city and surround the 300,000 German soldiers present in Stalingrad, who surrender 3 months later. As Soviet military industry now outstrips German production, the situation becomes critical for Hitler, who attempts a new offensive at Kursk. The biggest tank battle in history takes place there. The Soviets win and take the initiative. This time, nothing seems to be able to stop them. Stalin then meets for the first time his allies, Churchill for the United Kingdom and Roosevelt for the United States. He obtains the opening of a second front in the West with a military landing in France. He also obtains and plans to keep the Polish territories he conquered, moving the country more towards the west to the detriment of Germany, which would be divided and shared. In exchange, Stalin commits to attacking Japan after the German defeat. The following year, Leningrad is liberated after a siege of 872 days that was fatal for more than 1 million civilians. In the West, the Allies land in Normandy. At the same time, the Soviets launch a huge offensive that allows them to conquer Eastern Europe and reach Berlin. A month later, Germany surrenders. The victors meet in Potsdam to implement the agreements made earlier. The USSR then turns to Japan. After the 2 atomic bombs dropped by the United States on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Soviet armies quickly seize Manchuria, South Sakhalin, and the Kuril Islands, accelerating Japan's capitulation. The Soviet Union paid a high price for the war, with more than 26 million dead, including 10 million soldiers. Tens of millions of civilians are now displaced or homeless, while a new famine hit the population. In return, the USSR seized many territories in Asia and Europe and occupies eastern Germany and part of Austria. Within the country, repression resumes and targets deserters and those accused of treason. Most are sent to Gulag camps. Internationally, the Soviet Union strengthened its influence all around its borders, which causes tensions with the United States, while no agreement is reached on the status of Korea. In Eastern Europe, Stalin obtains the establishment of governments that are favorable to him. The United States, for its part, wants to prevent the spread of communism, in particular by offering credits in Western Europe to speed up reconstruction. The old continent self-divided, marking the beginning of the Cold War. In Germany, the United States, the United Kingdom, and France agreed to unite their occupation zones in order to recreate a German state. In response, West Berlin for Western control. An airlift is set up to the area. On August 28, 1949, the USSR tests its atomic bomb. The following year, Stalin obtains an alliance with China, major the Korean ends. In 1953, Stalin dies without having prepared a successor. Nikita Khrushchev gradually imposes himself and implements a policy of appeasement. More than 1 million prisoners are released. To reduce the pressure on peasants while increasing production, Khrushchev organizes the development of agriculture on the steppes of Kazakhstan, in the Urals, and in Siberia. Finally, he accelerates the construction of apartment buildings throughout the country to facilitate access to property. In Europe, while West Germany joins NATO, the Soviet Union responds by creating the Warsaw Pact, a military alliance between the countries of Eastern Europe. Internationally, as more and more European colonies gain their independence, Khrushchev takes advantage of the situation to get diplomatically closer to new states, notably Egypt and Syria, to whom he supplies arms. Finally, Khrushchev tries to ease tension with Tito's Yugoslavia, which had broken off diplomatic relations with Stalin. In 1956, Khrushchev unveils a secret report denouncing Stalin's excesses, these excesses being one of the reasons behind an anti-communist revolt in Poland. The Polish army puts down the revolt, and a moderate government is installed. In Hungary, too, an anti-communist revolt breaks out. This time, Khrushchev decides to intervene and sends his tanks to crush the revolt. At the same time, Egypt is attacked by Israel, France, and the United Kingdom for control of the Suez Canal. The USSR threatens to retaliate with nuclear weapons. The United States then intervenes and obtains an end to the offensive. In October 1957, the Soviet Union surprises and worries the United States space that accelerate their race to space, while a diplomatic rapprochement takes place. In 1959, Khrushchev is the first Soviet head of state to visit the United States. He takes advantage of the occasion to obtain a future summit in Paris with France and the United Kingdom to settle the West Berlin problem. But a few days before the summit, a U.S. spy plane is spotted in the Soviet sky and is shot down, which rekindles tensions. In Paris, no agreement is reached, and in 1961, the Berlin Wall is built to stop migration from east to west in the city. The United States now installs nuclear missiles in Italy and Turkey, threatening the USSR. Khrushchev answers the rapprochement with Cuba, where he installs Soviet missiles in the direction of the United States. Tension reaches its peak, and the world is preparing for a new world war. But neither the USSR nor the United States want a nuclear war. Agreement is finally reached, and the Soviet Union withdraws in exchange for the United States promising not to invade Cuba and to remove their missiles in Turkey and Italy. The two powers then begin a policy of détente well with the Soviets' Chinese ally, which distances itself from the USSR. On October 14th, 1964, Khrushchev is removed from office, officially for his advanced age.
The dissolution of the Soviet
Leonid
Union.
Brezhnev takes over and tries to re-establish the alliance with China, but fails. In 1968, in Czechoslovakia, the new government starts liberalization reforms, which is perceived as a threat by the Soviets. Brezhnev then decides to invade the country, together with 3 other members of the Warsaw Pact. He then puts in place a more favorable government to him. In the following years, Brezhnev continues to invest heavily in armaments to the detriment of the country's economy, while agricultural and industrial production stagnate. The Soviet Union develops new and more powerful nuclear missiles that threaten Western Europe. NATO
Hydrogen
reacts
bombs?
by deploying new missiles in 5 European countries. In 1979, in Afghanistan, the pro-Soviet government is taken down by revolts. The Soviet Union intervenes militarily, but its armies are quickly stuck in an expensive and unpopular war. Tensions rise internationally, and in 1980, many countries boycott the Olympic Games held in Moscow. 2 years later, Brezhnev dies, leaving behind a country in bad shape. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev comes to power. He begins economic and social reforms to modernize the country and establish a policy of openness and transparency. But the following year, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster puts him in even more difficulty financially and diplomatically. Internationally, he reopens contact with the United States and obtains an agreement to considerably reduce the nuclear arsenals of both powers. In 1988, Gorbachev decides to withdraw his troops from Afghanistan. While his policy of appeasement succeeds internationally, within the country, despite the reforms, the economic situation remains catastrophic, and the new policies facilitate demonstrations and strikes throughout the country. Revolts also occur in Eastern Europe, where communist regimes fall one by one. Within the USSR, Lithuania proclaims its independence and is quickly followed by the other republics. On July 1st, 1991, the Warsaw Pact is dissolved. Gorbachev, who no longer has any control, narrowly escapes a coup d'etat. On December 25th, 1991, he resigns, which marks the end of the USSR.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, so, I kind of want to watch this video now. Okay, so, this video is by Donnie Bobes, and it's called, I Fooled My Friend by Swapping Netherite and Leather Textures. I actually saw this channel, saw this video on his channel, a few days ago, I believe. I don't know, I saw it sometime this past week, and I thought it was really interesting. I've never even watched the video or even heard of him doing something like... Well, I know that he's swapped different textures before, but I've never heard him... I don't think he's ever swapped these two until this video, so... Anyway, so, yeah.
In this video, I swapped the textures of netherite and leather armor on my Minecraft server. So that netherite armor looks like leather armor, and leather armor looks like netherite.
That's funny.
Private SMP world is banned because nobody can get to the nether. So I decided to show my friend Liger that I have netherite armor on, even though it's leather. He freaks out and I tell him I'll give him each piece if he does me 4 favors. 1 for each piece of armor. I get him to run havoc on my server so that when I finally give him all the armor, all that bad stuff he done, it was all for leather gear. I'm so sorry, Liger. So here I am on my server, and as you can see, I've got no items in my inventory. But according to the server texture pack, I have this beautiful leather armor, right? Looks kind of normal, a bit weird and scuffed, right? Or what happens when I put the leather armor on? And if I go
Oh, what?
survival, only 3.5 armor bars. I'm stacked, but I'm not stacked at all.
Come on, Kitty, where are you? I hear the cat. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, come over, Kitty. I have some fish for you.
Basically, the nether on this server is banned. Nobody can go into the nether yet. So there's no way anyone has netherite armor. Currently, Liger and Linux are both on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to message Liger and I'm going to say, come to my house. And when he gets here, he's going to see me in netherite armor and be astounded. Like, what on earth? And I'm going to tell him I'll give it to him. Only if he does some bad stuff for me.
Oh.
Come to my house. I want to show you something. That is a very suspicious message. Hold on, bro. I got to catch this.
Very
camera. Come over
sus.
here, boy. Come on, boy. Come over here. Come over here, boy.
Now we've set the beat. Now all we got to do is wait.
If I can't have you, no one can have you. Anyways, man said come to his
Wow.
house. Okay,
He
let's
just
go.
killed a
Guys,
cat.
he might be AFK. He hasn't said anything back. Liger, where are you, man?
Luckily, I have an elytra. Let's fly to it. I think it should be in this direction, if I'm not mistaken, boys. There it is. There's Donnie's house. Let me slow down real quick. Do we really want to go in there? I don't know if this is a good idea.
Oh my god, he said, are you going to troll me?
He said no. He's not going to troll me, and he's going to hurt me, boys. Trust me. I know this man.
He said, am I gonna hurt him? I said, no. Why is he scared of me? I've never done anything bad to him.
You know what? Whatever,
really?
man. I'm a wussy. I'm going in. I see his name tag.
Because
There
he's
he is.
trolled
I
him
know.
multiple
Knock,
times.
knock. Hello? Hello, Donnie?
Oh, look, here he is.
What does this guy want from me?
He said, what? Just don't talk in chat. Linux is online here. I don't want him to see anything.
Want to see something cool? Nah. This is getting a bit too suspicious.
What do you mean? What did he think was gonna happen? I said, we want to see. Get back here.
And who does this guy think he's doing? How the flip, man? I've never netherite armor. It's banned.
Oh my god, that doesn't hurt. Okay, that actually kind of does hurt. I need to stop that.
Doesn't hurt. Bro, that armor's actually banned.
I said I'll give it to you if you promise not to tell anyone.
Bro, this is way too suspicious. But I'll still say deal.
He said, "No." Okay.
Come on. What do I have to do? I want that juicy netherite armor right now. I can already taste it.
Juicy?
I'll give you the helmet first, but I need you to do something. Go steal Linux's axolotl for me. And he said, okay.
Sometimes good people have to fall, you know what I mean? Plus, I'm getting netherite armor.
Then follow me. There we go. His house is right over there. Okay, go. Look, yes.
Over there? Okay, give me the helmet.
Go. Oh my god, that did like 5 hearts. Oh, he can't know that I'm running in leather. No, not yet.
Give me the helmet then. Yo, give me the helmet, boy. What you doing? That was part of the deal. I'll give it after I get it. I can kill you right now. Okay, he makes a very good point. I'm just gonna go to Linux's house straight away.
There we go. I've got my wooden sword too. You wanna die? Huh? You wanna die, punk?
Okay, relax. This guy.
Wooden sword.
Poor Linux doesn't know what's coming to him.
Now let's go rob Linux and take his axolotl.
I'm gonna go Kingdom Spectator. If you like,
Oh, this is crazy already.
Professional robber, I know exactly what I'm doing. First, you have to approach the victim's house very slowly, and you have to sneak so he doesn't see your name tag.
Is Linux even there?
Okay. Leggings.
Where is
New
Linux?
leggings. Those leggings are broken.
It looks like he's in his house.
Linux isn't even in his house.
Okay, we can make some arrows. We need sticks, feathers, and dirt for an arrow. How do you make an arrow? Flint.
And then you gotta move closer,
Why did-
stand behind a tree.
why did he
zoom
think
in,
it was
and look at
dirt?
the victim. There he is.
Oh wait, no, he is. Oh my god, it's just rendered in. He's upstairs, and he's not even AFK.
Is he wearing iron armor? That man's poor, bro. What a peasant. Oh my god, I'm wearing iron armor too.
Oh, Liger, good luck. I don't know how you're gonna steal his axolotl. He has it underneath his house. I don't even know how you get it out. Look, I'll show you guys where it is.
But soon I won't be a peasant. I will be wearing full netherite armor.
Look at it. This is not humane. Why is his axolotl here?
Alright, just have to get closer to the victim's house. Get real close to it. Real close and personal, you know what I mean? Can't lie, this guy has some really good building skills. His house looks beautiful.
Oh my god, it's inside his house.
Just gotta go in very, very
No
slowly.
freaking
Slowly
way.
into it. There it is. But it's underground.
He sees it. Get it. Please, Linux is right there.
We have to bust out the axolotl. Hold on. Just gotta make sure he doesn't see us. Oh. Okay.
Literally so broke. Oh, wait, I have my diamond here. What am I doing?
Okay. Hold on.
Why is he TNT?
What is he doing?
Is he insane?
Boom, let's go.
Oh my god, he didn't kill it.
The axolotl is free. Come with me, boy.
He's trying to get it.
Oh my god. I
You
have
need a
more.
boat.
Free.
No, you don't need a boat. You need a...
What's he doing?
Liger! No!
Free my boy.
Oh, I don't have my armor on. Why?
Where's the axolotl? Where did he go?
This axolotl is free, but I did not tell him to do this. I don't want anyone in the comment section mad at me. This guy is insane.
You have to
He's
use a
unhinged.
Oh, my
bucket of water.
Now all you have to do is play it off like everything is cool.
Oh god.
Sid, who was that? It was you, Dingleberry.
What's he trying to say?
Hey, yo, stop.
What just happened?
Dude,
The axolotl is right behind me, boys. He's still there. Okay, we gotta go. Come with me.
You need a bucket of water, you idiot.
Whatever, we're gonna steal its soul. We're gonna steal the soul. I think that should be good enough, right? Okay, we have the soul.
This guy is unhinged, guys. He's absolutely a maniac.
what's actually wrong with this guy?
Linux is all diamond up. Oh god, Linux. Oh, Linux, God.
It's all... What is his problem?
We have successfully stolen the axolotl and we are now retreating to Donny Bones.
No, we successfully killed the axolotl.
It's destroyed. It's gone.
That wasn't the...
Hard work.
Alright, well that
Oh my
has
God.
absolutely nothing to do with me. I've got video proof that I had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Okay, I'm just gonna drop him the bone.
What is this?
That's so messed up.
Alright, we'll give him the helmet.
That is so messed up.
I told him I'll put it in ender chest for him.
What do you mean ender chest? I can't access it. So I can give you all 4 same time.
I said, I want helmet, don't try
Me
to-
when I watch you
I
play
won't.
cities, yeah, whatever.
And just to confuse him, I'm
I
gonna
literally
put a
don't care.
netherite helmet on a real one, but this time it's leather. There we go. Oh god.
Okay, cool. Pinky promise. You better not break it, Donny.
He said now I got a leather helmet on. He's gonna be like, oh my god, this guy's really broke without his netherite gear.
Also, why does he have that poop helmet on, bro? It looks trash.
All right, now that he's blown up Linux's axolotl, even though I didn't tell him to, you can start working for your chest plate.
So guys, I can't lie. I think after all these tasks are done, I'm just gonna kill Don. Like straight up, I'm just gonna kill him because he's making me like ruin other people's days. So I'm gonna end his life. That's only fair.
I'm gonna say you want chest plate now, which of course he does. He's naked.
house. I want it right now.
Wait, Kipling's online. I want to see what Kipling's doing and see how we can ruin her. Oh, okay. Oh, she's good. Oh my god. Should I tell him to release these mobs?
Man said wait here and disappeared like Houdini. What the flip? My guy's a magician.
I said I need you to go destroy Kipling mob farm, okay?
Aww, so mean.
It's this way.
She spent so long building it. I remember it too.
It's so evil. He said, can I not kill Linux or something instead?
Man, can I not like do something bad to Linux?
Why does he hate Linux so much? What did Linux do to you? Oh, I guess he stole $5 grand from him, but hey.
Right, netherite chest plate. It's too beautiful. We're going, boys. Let's go.
Oh my god, he's going. Okay, emote spectator.
All right, let's go.
DP Liger.
There it is, the mob farm. Oh my god, it's huge.
Oh my god, here it is. Okay, he's already at it. He's so quick with that elytra.
Right, let me just land over here. She's over there. She's
She's just
Crazy.
AFK, so she's not doing anything.
all right. I'm now approaching the victim very slowly. I have a feeling she's AFK though. There she is.
I said, check if she's AFK. Oh my god.
How does Donnie even see this?
He said, how are you even seeing it? I said, I see you all. That's so scary.
All right, I'm 100% sure she's AFK, so I'm just gonna punch her real quick.
Oh, whoa, okay. Well, oh, hi, Liger. What's up, man?
Don't kill her. Oh my god. Oh, she's not AFK.
Liger, hi.
Oh my god, that's a lot of mobs. It will be a shame if they all just escaped at once. You know what I'm saying?
No, 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 no.
What?
I did not expect that. Oh my god. Oh my god.
They all spitting out.
Oh, my gosh. No, there's too many creepers.
Oh my god.
What?
What?
Where is she in all of this? I don't see her.
We have to destroy it though. It's not destroyed yet, boys. It is not destroyed.
Wait, there's so many creepers.
Oh snap.
Skeleton, stop. Stop.
Was
She
killed by a
died.
God, I didn't mean for that to happen.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm actually gonna choke him out, bro. I'm gonna put my hands around his stupid yellow neck and I'm just gonna...
Okay, we gotta fly up. We gotta destroy it completely, okay? Land, 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 land. Smooth landing. There we go. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh my god. Okay, we had nothing to do with that.
You know how long it took me to make that mob farm, bro? I was AFKing for so long. I just wanted some XP and then for what reason? I was AFK. I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't do anything wrong. And he just comes and he destroys everything and it's all
Oh my
gone.
gosh.
I'm a professional at this. I should do this full time.
Liger, bro.
It's okay, he got the chest plate.
Why would he do that? Why? Bro.
Mission accomplished, boys. Gotta make sure I get a smooth landing. There we go. 360. Boom. We're back.
There we go, he successfully has the chest plate.
Give me the chest plate. Give me the chest plate. Idiot.
There, I put it in there for you, okay? I put it in there. Okay, it's in there.
There we go. Nice. What's next?
Okay, we good?
Yes, it is good, but what's next?
Okay, now we need to get him to do leggings.
All right, buddy. I'm ready for the next task. I want those pants right now.
You want these swanky...
That
netherite
kind of
leggings,
sounds a
don't you?
little naughty.
Not just leather. I want the pants right now.
Right flipping now. Why am I so angry? I gotta go get therapy.
Wait, Saf left the game. Oh no, he's back. It's okay. When he gets here, I want you to kill him.
Half is like, it's like a brother from another mother. I can't do this to him. You monster! I'm leaving. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Wait, he said, no, he's my brother. What?
You just teleported me back.
You have to. You want the full set, right? Come on, man. You need to stop, man. You have no bad consequences, I swear.
Okay, we have to do it. We have to do it. Let's do it! Okay, message Saf. We're gonna start it off nice and slow, not be suspicious. I just told him, yo, let's wait for him to respond.
And I'm gonna go GMSP because I want to hide. And I want absolutely nothing to do with this.
Right, he said, yo, yo. That's
crazy.
kind of sus, I can't lie. But let's reply and say, yo, yo, come to Donnie's crib for a surprise.
Liger just told me to go to Donnie's crib. I don't know what I'm doing over there. Man, Liger's so sus sometimes.
I really liked Saf, but he's gonna have to die now.
Man, Liger's just too sus sometimes. Why am I going to Donnie's house? Why can't I go to his house?
Wait, Liger's looking over there. Is he coming?
I can't wait to kill Donnie, though. This guy thinks he's in control. As soon as I get the full netherite set, I will literally kill him.
Deep inventory should be on, so Saf should be okay, I think. I don't know, we'll see.
Now, where is Saf? I can't smell him. Oh, I can. He's coming from here. I can sense it.
That's what I never understand about Liger. He always makes you do something weird, out of the ordinary.
Oh, my God. What?
What do you want?
I'm a flipping magician, bro. All right, Saf. Come in here, buddy.
What do you want, bro?
Come in here. All right. Now, let's communicate with him with signs.
What? What do you want, Liger?
Because if you communicate through signs, you can always, build the trust.
What is going on?
Do it, please. Wait, why is he writing on the sign? What's going on here?
Take off your armor.
What? Why?
He's looking at him like, what? Why?
Because it's warm.
Because it's warm?
It's warm. You gotta take it off. You know, you gotta cool down. You know what I'm saying? You gotta cool down, my buddy.
Yo, this man is so weird. Why is he so sus?
Cool down. It makes a lot of sense.
Alright, fine. I like him. I like this guy. He's the coolest caveman I know.
Yes, you took it off.
Okay.
Do the deed, Liger.
Now put your weapons in this chest. Look at the sign, buddy.
Now put your weapon in the chest.
He's trying to get him naked before he does it. He's insane.
Everything's going to plan. Everything is going to plan.
This was like a robbery.
Come on, just put him in there.
Why?
Put it in there. Come on. There we go.
This weapon's trash. I only use it for like grinding my farm up.
Oh, he did it. He put it inside the chest.
Now I'm gonna take his own sword and kill him with his own sword.
Wait, what? Yo!
Rest in peace, buddy.
Yo! There's no way.
Rest in flippin' peace. Oh snap!
Oh, keep inventory.
Just take this armor, yo.
Oh my god.
No
Inventory.
freaking way.
Okay, I guess it's a little late now, but let's just hope he had no levels.
I just grinded 62 levels. All that effort in Kipley's farm. I'm never grinding on the server again.
Never really liked Saf anyways. It is what it is.
There we go, okay? You silly there, look. I put it in there now, okay? Yes, it's in there. Okay, good. Alright, now it's only the boots left.
Time for a last one. Let's go, baby. The boots. I want them right now.
I'm gonna say, I want you to finish blowing up Linux's house, and they are yours. Guys, the reason I say this is because I have a backup of the world, if we need. But Linux has still been on since his house blew up. He probably has nothing left.
I'm sorry, Linux. I'm gonna have to blow up your house again.
Good luck, Linux.
Anyways, okay, I have enough TNT. I don't have any more rockets, so I can't fly there. I have to walk.
Oh god, this is gonna be so bad. All of this for nothing. Armor. It's just leather armor. Oh my god.
Why is Liger saying hi to me? Leave me alone, bro. I don't like you.
Oh my god, I'm actually such a bad person, bro. But like I said, man, it's gonna be worth it because we're gonna have full netherite armor.
He rebuilt it?
I just need to put this right here.
Oh, he's still rebuilding it. Oh my god, this actually looks like the floor was completely gone, right? Oh wait, he's got none of his chests and stuff.
I'm willing to.
Yeah, but yeah,
with my brother
he's
Linux.
doing a good job rebuilding it though.
Oh wait, Liger, abort mission, Liger.
I have a surprise for you,
He said he has a surprise for me. What does that even mean?
man. Autocorrect.
Nah, he said babe. This guy's capital.
Oh god, the last like 30 minutes to an hour of his life is about to just go up in flames.
Okay. Oh, I see him. Does he see me?
Just surround this chest real quick. This is the last thing, I think.
I don't think he does. Sneak up.
What's Liger doing? He said he has a surprise? What does that mean?
My man rebuilt his house, bro. Sheesh. Good job, Linux. You're really smart. Did you also rebuild the axolotl? Oh, you didn't because he's dead. Your axolotl is dead. Oh, what's in this chest? Let me just steal it before I blow it up.
Why is he in my chest? I just finished the house.
Wait, the axolotl, oh no, it's gone. The
Oh my
axolotl is not
gosh.
there anymore. Oh god.
Okay. Enchantment table. I'll take that too, bro. Okay. I'm under stress now. I'm under stress. I'm under stress. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Linux. I love you.
Liger? Liger!
Oh my god, he blew himself up.
Okay, luckily keep inventories on. You blew up the house. Mission successful, boys. Mission successful. Let's go back to Donnie.
I love my friends. It's so fun on this server. It's just great. I have a blast.
Okay, I had nothing to do with
No, I didn't just spend all that time fixing it just for him to do that again and ruin my entire day. I'm not playing on the server. I'm not!
All right, we made it. Let's pick up the netherite armor, boys.
I don't know, I just have real friends, man. Why are they all so weird? Why do they always need TNT for things?
He said, give me it.
Right now, I'll let you set your house on fire. I don't care.
Wait, it looks all weird in the inventory. I don't like how it looks. Okay, I got an idea.
Is he putting a dispenser down? What's this man doing? All right, I guess I just stand on this. What now?
There we go, he's got it on. Look, okay, just this is the only way we have to do it.
What type of a control? The boots!
Let's go.
It's like magic. Leggings. The chest plate and the flippin' helmet. GG easy. All right, I'm killing Donnie.
What's wrong with this guy? Why is he hitting me?
That's it. I'm killing Donnie. I'm killing him right flipping now. I got netherite armor. What the flip? How's you doing that much damage to me?
What did he think was gonna happen? Oh, he thinks he's a netherite and I'm in leather.
Why do I only have 3.5 armor bars?
He thought he had the jump on me. I hope you enjoyed doing all that bad
Oh my
stuff.
gosh, that was hilarious.
Oh,
That whole build up
Leggy.
just for that final fight.
No. It's leather, bro. That doesn't make any sense. That does not make any sense.
I said I hope you enjoyed doing all that for leather gear. Oh god, our house is not safe. We need to move our house now.
server.
Oh god, that's trouble, man.
That's it. I'm sorry, Linux. We'll get him next time. Hashtag Liger Army, boys.
Yeah, that was a good video. That was really funny, honestly. Yeah, that was really funny. Okay, it looks like my mouse actually died, so I'm gonna have to hook it up to this wire so I can actually use it. There we go. Now it works again. So I watched this one. I watched this one. And now I think I want to watch this one. The real reason why the Soviet Union collapsed. This video is by the Infographics show. And while just looking through the comments, I actually saw this comment here. If the Soviet Union comes back, it should be called the Soviet Reunion. I just thought that was kind of humorous and a little bit funny. But anyway, let's watch the video.
It was one of the most powerful regimes to ever exist on Earth, and the only nation capable of going toe-to-toe with the might of the American military, but it went up in smoke in just a few short years. This is the real reason the Soviet Union collapsed. The seeds of the Soviet Union were planted all the way back in the 19th century. Serfdom was abolished in the Russian Empire in 1861, but even then the terms were highly unfavorable to the peasants. First, they had to continue working the land that belonged to the nobles for 2 years after the abolition, and said nobles got to keep the best bits of Russian land. To add insult to injury, nobles had their debts paid by the Russian government, while freed serfs paid as much as 34% over market price for the tiny plots of land they were granted. Naturally, this led to revolts and the dream of a Russia by the people for the people. The seeds of communism were sown. In 1905, an ongoing wave of revolution led to what became known as the First Russian Revolution. The cause of the revolution was fourfold. Peasants were earning too little and weren't allowed to either sell or mortgage the land they'd been given, instead being forced to continue working it for meager pay, a step not far removed from actual serfdom. Ethnic and national minorities also resented the Russian government for its discrimination against them and policies of prejudice and segregation. Workers in the city, who fared a little better than the peasants in the countryside, resented the government for not taking steps to protect them from exploitation by their employers. In fact, it was quite the opposite, as the government banned strikes and labor unions. Finally, the new generation was enjoying more liberal education and access to new worldviews, which encouraged them to criticize the autocratic Russian Tsar and yearn for more liberties. To add fuel to the fire, Russia had just lost a war with Japan, which was seen as a minor military power. The crushing defeat in the Pacific utterly humiliated.
Yeah, the war with Japan, that was like either, I can't exactly remember exactly when it was, but it was like around the time that World War II was or started, I believe. I believe it was like right before World War II started, or like at the very beginning of the war. But yeah, I remember seeing a few videos on it where like where, because the kind of population of I guess of the rest of the world didn't really know what was going on in Russia, because of course they banned things based on their own tastes and everything. People were kind of shocked whenever Japan actually won that war against Russia, but now that we know that what was actually going on, I don't think it's that big of a surprise to anyone, really.
The Russian Empire, which was struggling to prove it was too a modern and capable European power. Soldiers returning from the war found few jobs, inadequate pay, and poor treatment. Almost immediately, they began to organize protests. Despite mounting political pressure and a bloody confrontation between imperial troops and civilian protesters, Tsar Nicholas II refused to change his country from an absolute monarchy to a constitutional monarchy. He may have won himself a temporary reprieve from the Russians' fermenting civil unrest, but his failure to improve the lives of his people would be the death blow for the Russian Empire shortly after the outbreak of World War I. As the First World War broke out, Germany initiated a plan to defeat the Allies. Facing a two-front war, Germany first tried to knock France out of the war in accordance with the Schlieffen Plan. However, the plan had been heavily modified and rendered largely ineffective by then. As the war dragged on to a détente in the West, Germany saw political weakness in Russia due to civil unrest and focused on inflicting maximum casualties on the aging empire. Russia thus saw some of the most brutal fighting of the opening years of the war, and by 1917 a mix of German aggression and poor performance by the Russian military led to an almost complete collapse of the Russian morale. Back home, food shortages and general war weariness only compounded the anger of the Russian people, until finally it was too much. Workers and soldiers launched a spontaneous uprising in Petrograd, culminating into the February Revolution, which overthrew Nicholas II and his imperial government by March of 1917. The Tsar's government was replaced by a provisional government which planned to hold elections to a Russian constituent assembly and then rejoin the war on the side of the Allies. But as the Tsar was being overthrown, worker councils known as Soviets began to spring up across the country. Vladimir Lenin led his own faction, known as the Bolsheviks, in uniting many of these Soviets and pushing for a socialist revolution. Lenin viewed the Constituent Assembly as another form of the Duma created by the Tsar to appease the peasants. While commoners could be elected to the Tsar's Duma, in truth they held very little power and the Tsar reserved the right to veto any of their decisions. Lenin feared the Constituent Assembly would be a modern version of the old Duma and led the Bolsheviks and their supporters in a popular revolt. On November 7, 1917, his forces stormed the Winter Palace in Petrograd, dismantling the provisional government and granting all political power to Lenin and the Soviets. The very next month, the new Bolshevik government signed an armistice with the Central Powers, though fighting resumed in the new year until finally in March the Soviet Union was officially out of World War I with the signing of the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Lenin had no interest in fighting what he saw as a war of imperialist aggression between competing imperial powers and wanted the Soviet Union to stay out of it. For the Allies, the Soviet withdrawal was a strategic disaster. It allowed Germany to concentrate the full bulk of its forces against Britain and France. Thus, they sent military aid to imperialists and other revolutionaries inside of Russia who wished to see the Bolsheviks overthrown out of power. As enemies of the Bolsheviks grew, a civil war between communist Reds and the various Allied revolutionaries known as the Whites began. From the beginning, the odds were against the Whites, as they differed wildly in opinions and goals. Some wished to see the Tsar return to power and the Russian imperial government restored. Others had no intention of allowing the Tsar to rule again and simply wanted the communists out of power. Western Europe powers were just happy to have anyone win the war who would put Russia's military back into action against Germany. The Bolsheviks, however, were completely unified in their resolve to resist the Whites. To prevent an imperial government from being re-established, they executed the Tsar and his family in a famous massacre. Their deaths came as a shock to many across Europe who still clung to the old imperial thinking that saw monarchs as nigh untouchable political figures who, even if out of favor, were to be exiled at best, and certainly not gunned down in the basement. In the end, the unified Reds defeated the Whites and the growing Soviet Union remained intact, abiding by its agreement with Germany to remain neutral in the ongoing war against the Allies. On the 28th of December 1922, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics would officially come to be as a result of the conference between Soviet Russia, the Transcaucasian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic, Soviet Ukraine, and Belarusia. The four powers came together and unified in cause, giving birth to the Soviet Union we all know and love with a proclamation made from the stage of the Bolshoi Theater. The new Soviet Union immediately took to addressing many economic and logistical problems that had plagued Russia for decades and made it a second-rate European power. One of the largest goals of the government was the complete electrification of the country, as it would allow Russian industry to join the modern world and lift the standard of living for all. This plan, known as the Goelro Plan, would become the prototype for the famed five-year plans, which would shape the course of the Soviet Union's development until its dissolution in 1991. By 1931, the Soviet Union would be fully electrified, and by the end of the second five-year plan in 1937, the Soviet Union's heavy industry was amongst the most productive in the world. The core political systems of the Soviet Union was rule by one party, the Communist Party, whose stated purpose was to avoid exploitation by capitalist powers. In theory, this meant abiding by an ideology of democratic centralism, a system which was meant to unite the entire party on issues after said issue won a majority vote. Once a majority vote was in fact reached, all other members of the party were expected to immediately cease any opposition to it and work to support it. In practice, though, democratic centralism proved implemented by the Soviet Union or China, who would later follow this model. Instead, infighting between political factions within the Communist Party prevented the ever-elusive harmonious unity. One of the chief divides within the Communist Party was over the matter of the nation's very survival. It was no secret that Western capitalist powers were hostile to the communist system, as they saw the spread of workers' rights as detrimental to their own economies. In order to survive, the question was posed: would the Soviet Union be better protected by waging ongoing global revolution or by keeping its influence within its own borders? Ongoing global revolution hoped to achieve the survival of the Soviet state by gradually turning other countries to communism, thus adding to the number of allies the Soviet Union had and creating buffers between itself and the Western capitalist powers. The hope of global revolution, however, was diminished when socialist revolutions failed in Germany and Hungary. On April 2, 1922, Joseph Stalin was named General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, in effect making him ruler over the entire Soviet Union. Stalin had lied, cheated, manipulated, and even killed his way into power, and was so feared that even Lenin warned that he'd be destructive to the dream of true communism. Lenin's warnings would ring true, as Stalin worked from the day of his appointment to either force out or eliminate his political rivals, with only one goal in mind: to become absolute ruler of the Soviet Union. Naturally, many Communist Party members were violently opposed to Stalin. Their goal all along had been to build a democratic system that protected its constituents from the economic and political influence of powerful elites. These opposition members were gradually edged out of power, and communism's fate was decided in 1927 when Communist Party founding members Grigory Zinoviev and Leon Trotsky were forced into exile. Now, Stalin ruled uncontested, staffing the Communist Party with yes-men, who would approve his every decision and his ongoing appointment as party chairman. Today, China's President Xi Jinping has copied Stalin's playbook to the letter, ensuring that he remains president of China for as long as he wishes. Almost immediately, Stalin's brutal regime would subvert communism and turn it into Stalinism, a distinction many modern critics still fail to grasp. While Lenin had allowed private ownership of land and industry alongside collectivization, Stalin put the state in control of all industry and forced the collectivization of all farms, with disastrous consequences. Famines sprung up from grossly inefficient farming practices, and former landowners started to oppose the regime. Stalin responded by persecuting what he termed wealthy peasants, the kulaks, who owned as much as 8 acres each before collectivization. Many kulaks would be sent to the gulags, where they would likely die from malnutrition, exposure, or forced labor. Despite this, though, Soviet industry grew until becoming a modern power in the 1930s. As the Stalinist government gained international legitimacy, it became accepted as the rightful ruler of the Soviet Union, with the United States establishing formal diplomatic relations in 1933 and the USSR being invited to the World Disarmament Conference between 1932 and 1934. Back home, though, the NKVD, or Soviet Secret Police, had been busy conducting a staggering purge of Soviet society, government, and even military. Stalin's paranoia pushed him to eliminate anyone he suspected of conspiring against him, leading to the executions of 681,692 people over 2 years, for an average of 1,000 executions a day. Many of these were original Bolshevik revolutionaries, who likely still held allegiances to the old dream of communism, not Stalin's dictatorship. Stalin's purges, though, were about to cost the Soviet Union greatly. When Britain and France refused a formal alliance against Nazi Germany, Stalin decided to instead cozy up to Germany, leading to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact and the German-Soviet Commercial Agreement in August of 1939. With promises of German support and non-interference, the Soviet Union was able to occupy Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Bessarabia, northern Bukovina, and eastern Poland. Meanwhile, under the pretense of increasing the security of Leningrad, the Soviet Union attempted to coerce Finland into ceding 16 miles of territory along its border, terms it knew Finland would never agree to.
Finland, they pretty much just absolutely destroyed Russia in that what's known as the Cold, or known as the Winter War, I guess, where yes, the Russians may have succeeded in getting the territory they want. However, they actually, in my opinion, they actually kind of lost that war because of how many men they lost. Especially if you compare the numbers with how many people were in each of their armies at the time, where the Soviet Union had a huge. They were really well favored in that war based on numbers. But they just got absolutely destroyed.
Finland predictably refused, a much larger Soviet Union immediately invaded, prompting the infamous Winter War. Vastly outnumbered, Finnish forces nonetheless inflicted horrible casualties on the Soviet juggernaut. Thanks to Stalin's purchase, much of the veteran leadership which had built the Red Army from the ground up had been replaced with inexperienced lackeys, valued more for their political loyalty to Stalin than for their ability to lead. Finland routinely outfought and outmaneuvered the Soviets, who were forced to fight Finland to a truce with overwhelming numbers alone. In the end, Finland lost much of its territory to the Soviet Union, but the Soviet juggernaut was the true loser. Its performance was so terrible during the conflict that it encouraged Hitler to draw up plans for the invasion of the Soviet Union, costing the nation millions of lives. The Soviet Union would go on to join the Allies after the German invasion and would suffer approximately 27 million casualties in the fighting. By the end of the war, though, the Soviet Union had become a superpower and one of the original founding members of the United Nations and a member on the UN Security Council, which granted it veto power over any resolution the UN proposed. After the war, the United States viewed the Soviet Union as a hostile power and reneged on wartime promises of economic aid to help it in reconstruction. This, along with Stalin's increasing global ambition, drove a wedge between the two superpowers. By 1949, the clash between Western liberal democracies and Stalinist authoritarianism led to the freezing chill of the Cold War. In the post-war period, the Soviet Union seized direct control of most countries east of Germany, instituting puppet governments and forming the Soviet bloc. In 1955, these satellite states were bound together into a military alliance called the Warsaw Pact. The member nations were independent in idea only. In truth, they were completely subservient to the much more powerful Soviet Union and received their orders directly from the Kremlin. Germany was partitioned into zones of influence between formerly allied powers, culminating in a democratic West Germany supported by the United States and authoritarian East Germany ruled in proxy by the Soviet Union. On March 5, 1953, Stalin died. He had suffered from a worsening physical condition ever since the end of the Second World War, suffering a stroke in May 1945 and a severe heart attack later that year in October. After his state funeral, the leading Communist Party officials proposed ruling together, but Nikita Khrushchev would end up winning the ensuing power struggle. In 1956, 3 years after taking power, Khrushchev did the unthinkable by denouncing Stalin as a dictator and rolling back many of Stalin's former oppressive policies over Soviet industry and individuals. The measures proved popular with Soviet citizens, and Khrushchev enjoyed a degree of popular support. As the Cold War drove on, though, Soviet interest in Eastern Europe led to a brutal reprisal of an anti-communist uprising in Hungary, also in 1956. For the Soviets, East Europe was a buffer zone that would safeguard the Soviet homeland from another disastrous invasion. Located on the eastern edge of the European plain, the Soviet border was not only difficult to defend, but had been frequently violated throughout history in one invasion after another. For the USSR, keeping Eastern Europe under its heel was a matter of national security. But the Soviet Union was losing powerful friends in the East. Blamed by Mao of being a revisionist and not a true revolutionary, Khrushchev's increasingly hostile relations with China led to a split between the world's two largest communist powers. Many feared a possible war between the two, but China was still the far lesser of the two powers, and thus the resulting split was kept to the political level only. This split, however, would inevitably lead to China drawing closer to the US and further weakening of Soviet influence abroad. Recognizing a need to engage more with the world, though, Khrushchev initiated what came to be termed as the Thaw, a slow but gradual shift in political, cultural, and economic life in the USSR. Khrushchev's reforms led to more contact with the West, including some economic relations. Many hoped for an end to the Cold War, but such an end wouldn't come for decades yet. Still, the living standard of Soviet citizens rose appreciably as a result of his relaxing of Stalin-era laws and regulations, and he even relaxed some of the harsh censorship imposed upon the Soviet people. In 1962, Khrushchev precipitated what would become known as the Cuban Missile Crisis when he deployed nuclear missiles to Cuba. The resulting military standoff put the world on the knife's edge of nuclear war, but last-minute negotiations between American President John F. Kennedy and himself led to a de-escalation that averted all-out disaster. While Khrushchev had averted global nuclear war, his backing down from the United States was seen as a sign of weakness by his political rivals. By 1964, they'd grown so emboldened that they ousted him from power, though he was allowed to retire to the countryside instead of meeting the typical fate of unfavorable Communist Party members, namely being shot in the head. Immediately after Khrushchev, a short era of collective leadership ensued, with Leonid Brezhnev as General Secretary, Alexei Kosygin as Premier, and Nikolai Podgorny as the chairman of the Presidium. However, given that you likely only remember the name Brezhnev, you can guess how that ended, as Brezhnev ousted his co-leaders and ruled as preeminent Soviet. Brezhnev's rule proved to be far less popular both at home and abroad. He retightened rule on the lives of Soviet citizens and took a very aggressive stance against dissidents both within the USSR and in Warsaw Pact nations. In 1968, the Pact invaded Czechoslovakia in order to put down a series of reforms aimed at liberalizing the nation. Immediately after the end of hostilities, Brezhnev formally proclaimed that any threat to socialist rule within the Warsaw Pact was a threat to all members of the Pact and would thus be met with immediate military action. But
Reminds me of something that NATO has as well, where basically an attack on one is the same an attack on all.
But Warsaw Pact members were becoming
Something to think
increasingly
about.
unhappy with harsh Soviet rule, and revolution fomented, spelling the inevitable end of the Soviet Union. By the time of Brezhnev's death in 1982, the Soviet Union had grown in military power but stagnated economically. The USSR had attempted to outcompete the United States militarily and had a more powerful army with a growing navy that was a match for the US's and was even meeting America's capabilities in the air. But the Soviet economy was less than half the value of the American economy and stagnating, and the disaster of the Afghan War launched what would become the beginning of the end for the Soviet state. With the Afghan invasion becoming a costly mistake for the Soviet Union, the United States smelled an opportunity to deal a death blow to the superpower rival. Using its diplomatic clout, the U.S. encouraged Saudi Arabia to lower the price of oil exports, which crippled the Soviet Union as it could no longer sell its oil at a profit. With a poorly diversified economy, a problem that haunts Russia to this day, the Soviet Union's hard currency reserves were quickly wiped out, forcing it into deep economic stagnation and worsening growing civil unrest at home. After Brezhnev's death, Yuri Andropov came to power but died soon after. He was succeeded by Konstantin Chernenko, who also died shortly after taking office. In 1985, the Soviets appointed a much younger Mikhail Gorbachev, hoping to avoid another disastrous early death in office. Gorbachev, though, faced the incredibly difficult task of rejuvenating a stagnant Soviet economy and an aging political system that was increasingly turning back to authoritarianism to retain control over the dying Soviet empire. Gorbachev launched massive reforms within the economy and party leadership, both known as perestroika, as well as easing up censorship under his policy of glasnost. In 1988, Gorbachev ordered a retreat from Afghanistan, mirroring the American failure in the region that would follow just over 30 years later. His greatest reform, however, was in the rejection of Brezhnev's policy of taking military action against any revolutionary movement within Warsaw Pact nations, and liberated Soviet satellite states from much of the Kremlin's former direct interference in their national affairs. This directly paved the way for the revolutions of 1989, which saw many former Soviet satellites thrown off the yoke of Kremlin control and communism. Soviet republics, however, also began to pursue independence, and in 1990 a law was passed that would allow a republic to secede if more than two-thirds of its residents voted in favor of it. These would be the first free elections many Soviet citizens would ever see, and they elected their own legislatures to rule them, which would draft laws contrary to Soviet legislation. With the end of the Soviet Union in sight, panic led to action amongst old communist hardliners within the party. An attempted coup by hardline party members and the KGB tried to oust Gorbachev and reverse his popular reforms. The coup, however, ended in failure thanks to massive popular support against it. Boris Yeltsin was instrumental in the prevention of the coup, and his victory would propel him to public limelight and ensure his role as Russia's first elected president after the fall of the Soviet Union. That failed coup also emboldened many Soviet republics to declare independence, and in August 1991, Latvia and Estonia followed Lithuania's example the year before and declared themselves independent. In late August of that year, Gorbachev resigned as general secretary, and the activities of the Communist Party were soon suspended indefinitely. The Soviet Union was over, and Boris Yeltsin, who had been elected president in July, now took control of a democratic Russia. Democracy's victory in Russia, however, would be short-lived, as the rise to power of Vladimir Putin would result in purges of opposing political parties, the press, and dissidents alike. With Putin returned to the NKVD-style secret arrests and executions, even sending assassins to kill dissidents abroad. Today, Putin has rewritten the Russian constitution to ensure he can remain in power forever, and Russia has once more turned back to Stalin-style authoritarianism and become a failed democracy. Now, go watch What If Russia Invades Ukraine to find out what happens next, or click this other video instead.
Russia has invaded Ukraine. But yeah, good video. Good video. There's not really much that I could add. They put a lot of good information in there. Let's go Let's watch this one, I guess.
In this video, I find two of my
Okay, so this video is by Donnie Bobes. I put my friend in a world you can never leave on Minecraft. All right, so let's watch this one.
In this video, I find two of my friends playing on our Minecraft SMP world and let them think that they're alone. Then I get a random account that should not have access to the server and join the world. If they treat this account well and welcome into the server, I'll make sure that the next time they go to sleep, they wake up in a dream world where everything is perfect and nothing can go wrong. But if they're mean to the account and kill it or bully it, I'll make sure that the next time they go to sleep, they wake up in a nightmare world where everything wants to kill them. Good luck, guys. Feeling nice today. Oh god, Linux is the first person on the server. I feel so bad. He's been trolled so much. Do I care though? No.
Okay, so we need to grab Nightmare Watcher. Just joined the game.
Okay, it's time, and here we go. Barack Obama's joined the server. Nightmare Watcher, aka Barack Obama.
No.
Barack
What actually is that?
Obama.
What actually is a Nightmare Watcher?
I said hello, Lynx.
Who's Lynx?
I know how much Linux hates being called Lynx.
Who is this guy?
Oh, good. He asked me, who are you?
Nightmare Watcher. That is terrifying. Who's Nightmare Watcher?
Oh, God.
I don't like that one bit. Not in the slightest.
All right, it's time for the ultimate test. Will he kill me? I'm just going to go past his house. I got no food. Oh, God, I can't sprint.
Why are there randoms on the server? Did someone leak it again? I remember one time Bionic leaked it and a bunch of fans joined.
He's at home. Let's go. He's going through his upstairs chest. All right, here we go. We're about to walk in.
No, because then more people would have joined, right? Not just Night. What is he doing here?
Linux, decide for yourself. Are you going to go to the good one or the bad one? Which one?
Oh my god, it's an Obama skin.
Look. He's just seen Obama.
What is he doing, dude? Why are you in my house?
Oh, okay, here we go. You get some armor.
He's going through my stuff. Dude, why? It's literally Obama! Look at his... He just taking my stuff.
There we go. There we go. And we just... What am I looking at?
You know what? Even though his name is Nightmare Watcher, I find a weird sense of security that he's wearing an Obama skin. It just makes me feel... It just gives off, like, 13, 14-year-old vibes. Like, that's what it's radiating right now.
He's just looking at me, Robin. Kill me, dude. I want to send you to the nightmare world. Hurry up and kill me.
He just took my diamonds and crafted... He's leaving. This is insane.
I said, do you have food? Is he going to give me food?
I actually dropped him a water bucket. Take the water bucket as well.
Oh my god, he's giving me food.
Maybe he'll give it back to me. I don't know. Maybe he's nice.
He said, can I have my water bucket? Oh yeah, sorry. I picked up my... There you go.
Oh my... Wait, he actually gave me my... Who is this guy? And why is he wearing Obama? I don't know. Of course I'd be getting robbed by Obama.
I guess Linux is going to the dream dimension. Oh my god. Let's go. Linux not killing someone out of anger. Oh my god, who'd have seen that coming?
I don't know what to say. He left the... I'm putting my diamonds and everything in here so that he can't take it. This guy's actually... He left. Like, what does that mean?
Hey, yo, hold on. Where did my chickens go? I cooked them. My bad.
Liger. Honestly, I'm not gonna be surprised if he kills him. I won't be surprised.
What the flip? Who's Nightmare Watcher? Farm alarm. I've never seen this man before on the server. Is this Donnie's alt account? It has to be, bro. He's done something like this before.
Oh my god, he said yo. It's big god. Wait, which way is his house? I know it's in the mesa. There it is. It's in the mesa.
What the flip is that skin? Okay, this is starting to spook me the flip
It's
out.
I'm gonna
Obama.
say his name.
Hello?
Guys, he's not at his house. I'm gonna wait. Let me repeat him. DP Liger is cool.
What the?
Oh wait, he is at his house.
My man teleported to me.
Wait, okay, he seems more distracted by the fact that I'm Obama.
Is that Obama?
And his weird obsession with Obama. This is good.
What the flip is going on, bro? You get out of here, man. No one likes you. Donald Trump is president now. Wait, why can I not punch him? Yo, what's going on? Hey, yo, what's this man doing? Obama's on the back too.
Here we go. Look, I'm just gonna go through his chest. Look, here we go.
Is he going through my chest?
I'm just gonna look. Wait. Oh wait, he's hit me.
My guy, stop going through my chest. Hey, yo.
Stop! I'm just looking.
Don't take him.
I'm just look. Oh, he took his diamonds out.
What's wrong with you? Touch that chest one more time. I'll kill you right now.
I'm just...
Touch that chest. My man has my gold.
Okay, put it back. Put it back.
No one steals my gold.
I put it back.
I killed him. But yes, keep inventory on. My man just stole all of my gold. He took one stack.
Okay. I put it back. Oh my god.
Oh, luckily I have insurance.
Oh, so you're not joining Linux? You are going straight to the nightmare realm where Nightmare Watcher will be watching you.
Why do weird things always have to happen to me? That was the most weird thing I've ever witnessed in my life. Anyways, I gotta go mining, bro.
Alright, there we go. He's leaving his house. It's perfect. It's time now, baby. Let's do this. We're in Vanish now, so he has no idea that I'm on the server, and he can't see me at all. But this is perfect timing. We're gonna go to his bed right here. We're gonna break his current beds, and we're gonna put down the new ones. And here we go. Luxurious bed for a good night's sleep. And 2 of them is perfect. Now, the next time he goes to bed, he's gonna be going to a dream dimension. Events that he's gonna be doing, and everything is gonna be going so perfectly in there. But let's just say for Liger, it won't be as perfect. Alright guys, I've left it a little while and he's not inside. Oh wait, he is inside. No, he's down. He's underneath his house. Okay, this is perfect. This doesn't matter. It's underneath. Oh, this is where he must have dug down. Here we go. Get the bed. Here we go. Wretched bed. There we go. Put it there and there. And perfect. Now all we need to do. Wait, can he see the time? Okay, good. He can't see. We'll do time set night. But the next time he comes out, he's gonna know that it's night time. And what's he gonna do? He's gonna go to bed. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Okay, I may need to actually go back.
Guys, okay, I need him to come back to his bed, so I need it to be nighttime. So it's time to change it to night.
I don't have anything.
Wait, he's mining. I need. Oh god, what is going on here? Oh, we've corrupted this world too many times. Oh no, look at this. Oh no, this world is so screwed. Every time I change this world to 116, then 117, then 118, then back to 116, this whole world is ruined now. What have I done?
Right, Carlite, that mining trip was pretty unsuccessful, so I'm just gonna go back up. YOLO.
Oh my god, he's finally coming up. Okay, it's been forever. I've been waiting for a long time, but he's finally coming up. Here we go.
All right, what else is there to do?
It's still nighttime. Perfect.
Come on in for free stuff. Yeah, no, I'm not going in that. No way. Dude, I don't trust anything that ever happens on the server in a million years ever. You guys don't understand how many traps there are. On these servers, no. I always say I'm done, but then I remember I have a wolf to take care of, and also my farms need help.
There we go. While he was inside there, I changed it to nighttime, so now, okay, we now needed to go back home.
Hold on, let me sleep real quick.
All I needed to do is go into that bed, please.
Come on, sleep in the bed.
Hold on. Bro, that's not what a bed looks like. Bro, that's what a normal bed looks like. And now, why is this look like that? Yo, hold on. New update in the game. Let's go.
Oh, he knows.
This actually kind of really sucks because I only have 4 pieces and there's no mob spawning. So hold up. What we're going to do, we'll regroup. Mobs are about to start spawning and we're going to go to the house, sleep, and then we'll go to like a village, probably.
Oh my god, please. Okay, here we go. Please. Oh my god. No! Please, go to bed.
Really quick, I need to enchant my diamond axe.
Who enchants in the middle of the night? What's going on? Where did he go?
What?
Oh my god, that's where he went. Oh my god, he clicked on the bed and looked. Oh, let's go.
You already know, like, is the first person to get the updates. All right, let's go sleep then, baby.
Yes! Oh my god.
He actually slept in the bed. No freaking way.
Hey, yo, hold on. What the flip is that? I want to go back.
And here he is.
That actually looks a little bit scary.
This place is terrifying.
There's nobody online, but that means that someone's online, right?
I was wondering where he went, and here he is inside the dream world.
Wait, whoa, I have not got enough sleep for this. I am so lost. What is this?
He's looking around. Look at this. His place looks beautiful.
Hey, yo! Why is everything turning red? Hello? Can I light up TNT? We good?
Why is he blowing up TNT?
Oh. It did more damage than usual.
Is he insane?
What type of ore is this? Hold on. What is this? Hold on. Necrum. What in the flip?
Okay, guys. Linux was in a world where there were unicorns, and look, I've spawned a nightmare, and I'm gonna run around him in circles, putting him on fire as he steps on them. Where is he? I need to find him.
What? Dream dirt? Dream has his own dirt?
And yes, that
Dream
is
dirt.
freaking unicorn.
What is this? What is this wood? White log. There's white logs now. A lollipop bush. What is going on?
The first thing I've set up on this world, okay, other than the unicorn and the freaking Pegasus over there that you'll see. Look at this Pegasus. I'm gonna bring it to him. It's a horse with wings. It looks insane. I've also set up this pot gold at the end of the rainbow. Look how beautiful it looks. And look what's inside. Rainbow gear.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Take some candy.
There's no way out of this.
Guys, look, I found him.
This is a joke. What the flip was that? Did you guys see that?
Oh my god, and he sees me. Where is he? Oh my god.
I swear I just saw something in the corner.
I'm literally spawning fire in the air. This is terrifying.
What is that? Is that a rainbow?
Oh my god, did he see?
A pot of gold!
Oh my god, I don't know if he knows that he's in a dream right now, but if he does, that would be so cool. But they don't know that I'm behind it. Of course, who else would do this?
It gives me regeneration and rainbow armor. Yes, sir.
Look at him, he looks insane.
Oh my god.
Skin, I need to take this off.
Actually, this isn't as good as my diamond stuff. Yeah, no. All of this is trash.
And, you know what? While he's looking there, let's bring him a pace.
Like, I know, it's not as good as my diamond stuff.
It's a flying horse! Hey, yo! Ah! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god, and he's even trailer fire behind him!
There's fire everywhere.
Oh my god, oh my god, I've never seen anything like that before in my life! Ah!
Maybe this one over here is a little bit better, right? Is there more at this side of the...
Look up, look. Oh, he's about to come to the other side of the rainbow, and here we go.
Can I break the...
Look at that. He's like, where did you come from?
Did that just come from the sky? There's phoenixes!
I guarantee he has no
Phoenix.
idea what a Pegasus is, but hey, his Linux is okay.
What is going on here?
And he doesn't see me on the back of the horse. He just sees a flying horse. Holding fire everywhere it goes.
Oh my god, that is not even funny, bro. Is he still here? Hello?
He went underground.
Okay, we're good, I think.
Look. Wait, should I spawn it right behind him?
Oh!
What is he running with?
Wait, so this is like a YouTube world, right? Because there's like a Phoenix YouTuber type vibe or YouTube videos?
It's got wings to fly, you psycho.
Yo, he's standing right next to me. Okay, you know what?
Oh my god.
How you think I'm a wussy?
He's insane.
You're done for, family line. Rest in peace. Let's flip it, go.
Why would he kill an innocent animal for no reason? This guy's a psychopath.
So there's Dream Dirt. Does that mean there's like Linux stuff in here? Oh, it flies! It actually flies!
Oh my god, he just started flying up. Here we go. That is what we love to see.
I have a flying phoenix. Oh my! Ah!
Look at him. He looks so great. This is why you're good to random people. I'm not an evil man.
Don't ever mess with me ever again. Yeah, now let me out of this. How the flip do I escape this place?
But that's fine. You know what we do to psychopaths?
I'm gonna kamikaze myself. It's the only way out.
We show them their own house in Minecraft.
I've watched Inception. I know how this works. Wait, but if I do so die in real life too, no? Oh, shit. Finished.
Look, he tried to kill himself. I TP'd him straight back.
There has to be something going on, right? There's just gonna be a dragon flying out of nowhere that's gonna come out and attack me. Look at how graceful it is. I feel like I'm flying around and I'm about to go like bless someone's day right now. Oh, this is insane. There has to be something Linux related, right? So there's Dream Dirt. There's Phoenix, like horse type vibes. Please let there be Linux meat.
I'm the nicest
Linux
man in the
meat.
world. Look at this. Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Not like that. I don't. Okay, well, hold on. Not Linux meat per se. It'd be like more like Linux's like food or steak. You know what I mean? Not Linux's meat, because that's a bit.
Alright, on this I've set up
It's a little bit
perfect. I've
sus.
set up his own house. I made it that he's sleeping in his own bed inside the house that's in the dream dimension.
Oh my god, I respawn here. Is this some type of joke? I just kamikaze myself just to spawn back.
There we go. We built his entire house. We put the beds back, and the beds looked a bit scuffed because I used one edit. But there we go. He's in the bed. Now we need to get the command ready / effective. Liger is cool when he sees it.
What is that, dude? No way, that's my house, right? That looks so. If you hold C, it goes down really fast. Look at that.
Here we go. Inside.
Thank you, Mr. Phoenix, sir.
Here we go. And look who's in the bed.
Look who's in the bed.
What happened to my voice? Hello? I'm just joking. That's my voice changer. Wait, hold up. Is that my house?
Oh my god, he's coming. He's coming. Okay, 1, 2. There we go. All right, as soon as he punches his thing, I'm going to give himself the effect.
I'm growing a liking to this dream world, might I say.
Oh my god, this is kind of creepy actually.
Do I have all my stuff here?
And look, even this stuff is in the chest.
More diamonds.
Wait, he's duping his items. That's not fair. Come on. Wait, oh my god, if he hits it, I'm going to give himself effective Linuxity, instant damage. 1. Oh, dead for 1. True. There we go. Just in case. Hit him, hit him, hit him. Do it.
That is my house. You're back.
Here he is. Look, he sees his house.
Oh, this is so funny.
Everything is still messed up. Oh my god. Why is my name tag in?
Oh my god, he sees himself. Oh my god.
Wait, why did that just do so much damage?
He's taking the damage. Look. Oh my god, do it again. Here we go. I need to watch.
Why does that do so much?
Okay.
And now look, every single time he punches it, go on, please. Here we go. Please do it.
Can I punch him? Some damage. Okay, relax. Oh my god.
There we go. He's punching himself. Do that again. I dare you.
Wait, what is happening right now?
This looks so ridiculous. Okay, perfect.
Is everything the same? If there's iron and gold, then this is the exact same. Oh, it's the exact same.
Let's get his Pegasus to come up to him. There we, oh my god, this thing's fast. Oh my god. And just like that, he's off.
Okay, I still have all of my valuables and everything. But if I punch myself, I somehow... Yeah, look! I did damage!
Don't hit yourself, you psycho.
Okay, okay. There's only one way out of this, boys.
And then let me start opening some chests. Wait, he's blowing his house up.
No way. I'm leaving.
Okay, so only is he gonna keep such a... Oh my, is he insane?
Oh my, I just fell.
Is he
No, no. Oh.
Is he mental? What is wrong with this guy?
I've had enough!
He's insane.
Take me home right flipping now!
But look where his respawn point is.
I hope. Is he fine? He should be fine, right? I actually just
Oh my gosh.
Look, it's time, guys. I'm spawning the puppies in. He's getting puppies in his rainbow puppies too.
That actually scared me. I literally thought I was gonna die from fall damage. What is that? What are these? Oh.
Look. Oh, look at the cute puppies.
Keep coming back here to this stupid house, to this stupid world, to this stupid fine liger.
You know why he's not going anywhere? Touch scale set 5 Nightmare Watcher. Here we go. And then I'll do Vanish and come out.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
He's enjoying his time so much.
Oh my goodness, look at this. It's a little dog. I'm taking all of you.
Game Bible. Come out of Vanish. Here we go.
Why can I not attack him? I just want to die, please. Give me that. I want to
But I'm gonna say, remember me. Look.
I'm sorry. Ah! It's Obama, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
He knows now.
You guys are all coming into this house. Why is he back? Wait, no, he did this.
So it's time to go home.
No, 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 I don't want to. There's puppies.
I just showed him all the puppies. He said, no, please.
Literally stop, Nightmare Watcher. I'm taking the puppies inside. I don't want to go back.
I'm gonna say get in the bed. You're leaving the puppy dimension with the dreams. Get in there right now.
I'm so sorry.
Remember. This is so scary.
Please let me go, Obama, please. Oh my god.
Let me outman the other liger. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's like as big as his
Making me
house.
get in the bed. I'm scared because I don't know this unless it's done. I don't know this guy.
Okay, he's not doing it. It's fine. It's fine, guys. I'm gonna flash him the TNT. That will definitely get him in there faster.
I'm about to kamikaze myself again, man, if this doesn't stop.
I'm gonna let him think that he woke up from the dream and look.
It's okay, I will let you out. Really? What a nice guy. Oh, he was evil this whole time. Hey, man, can I go out now, man?
Look, there we go. Get in there.
Please let me keep the sword. Please let me keep the sword.
Can I keep the sword? Alright, I'll let him keep the sword. I don't care. Just get in.
What is this? Is this bed for me? Can I sleep? Give me a kiss.
Please. Oh my god.
What's going on here? Alright, let's go, baby.
I think he just kissed me. There we go. And look.
Oh wait, he's shaking his head up. Yes, down. Or yes and down. Up and down. Oh, that's TNT. All right, I'm going.
And he's gone.
Hey, yo! Hold on. Yo, shout out to Nightmare Watcher, man. That's my boy. Yo, I should have doubted him, man. Let's flip and go. Good ending.
I typed in chat, said, don't be stupid. There's no way out. And let's go to his house, which is right over here somewhere. Look up. There we go. And look, he's coming from the distance.
Oh, this world is so dull. Dude, it literally looks like poop. Oh my. From Dreamland. Oh, it's dreams, as in like sleeping dreams, not dream the. Wow, I understand now.
Not Dream the YouTuber or the
Have a
Minecrafter.
nice time too.
What's going on here, buddy? I'm not getting around here. Oh! Some friends!
Oh my god, I'm crying from laughing so much. Oh gosh, that was so good. That was really funny too. Wow. All right, so I think I actually want to react to this video. Wrestle with Andy, best in the world, the CM Punk story. Now CM Punk is actually a character that that I like a lot, and he's actually no longer with the WWE right now. He's with AEW, I believe. But you know, he has a really interesting story, and I might actually react to there's this a couple episodes of a podcast that he did with on his friend's podcast that really gives a lot of insight to what his experience was like with WWE. So if you guys want me to react to that eventually, you know, you can let me know. All right, so with that being said, let's watch the video.
Ever since the in-ring retirement of Stone Cold Steve Austin in 2003, arguably no wrestler has ever come as close to capturing the zeitgeist and ushering in a new boom period in wrestling as CM Punk. Back in 2011, Punk was ready to explode, having just cut the promo of a lifetime. In fact, many lapsed fans who have since returned to wrestling credit this for being the event that got them watching again. Even current superstars like Adam Cole and Rhea Ripley have called him a major influence. So what was so special about him? Well, Punk had a lofty goal. He wanted to change the culture of wrestling itself. So did he manage to achieve this, or did it all end up being for nothing? Well, join us today as we answer this question by taking a deep dive into his entire career journey as well as the aftermath in Best in the World, the CM Punk story.
Yeah, very interesting intro there. You know, you changing the wrestling culture. But yeah, one of the things that made CM Punk one of my favorite wrestlers is he can really cut promos like no other person can. You know, just like and the thing about his promos is that I can rewatch them over and over and over again and still not be tired of it. Just his way of delivering his promos and the way he says things and the words that he uses to express what he's trying to say. And he even said it himself that he has the balls to say things that nobody else has the balls to say. And you know, sometimes I think that's something that you know, if you're in a tough situation like that, you kind of have to have that mentality as well. So, but anyway, let's continue with the video.
CM Punk was born Philip Jack Brooks on October 26, 1978 in Chicago, Illinois. Brooks watched his father struggle with alcoholism during his childhood, and this would lead to a lifelong abstinence from drink or drugs, something which in many ways would define him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I remember that actually. That's something that he has mentioned before. You know, he saw his father going through like all these problems with alcohol and everything, and from his point of view, it's like, I don't want to even risk having those problems. And he didn't really, I don't know, I guess he just saw how alcohol can change a person, and you know, he just wanted to avoid that. And I remember early on in the maybe not early on, but earlier in his career, he I remember that there was a segment that he did with JBL, where they were about to take a shot together, and CM Punk said, sometimes it's what you don't do that makes you who you are. Another very powerful quote, by the way, and then of course he just put the shot in JBL's face. For those of you who actually did watch the segment, but yeah, just going back to like his promos and everything, like there's a lot of moments that I remember from his promos simply because of how he worded and said his promos as well. So and a lot of things that he said kind of stick with me to this day as well. So, but anyway.
But his first opportunity to fight for himself came in the backyard promotion Lunatic Wrestling Federation, where he and his brother Mike performed in the mid to late 90s. This was where he developed the ring name CM Punk after being put into a tag team with fellow backyard wrestler CM Venom. For years later, it would be subject to fan speculation about what the CM in Punk's name stood for. Some of the suggestions included Cookie Monster, Chicago Made, and Charles Montgomery, a reference to Mr. Burns.
Chick Magnet.
Punk himself seemed happy to play up to the speculation, often giving a different answer whenever he was asked. Years later, however, it was revealed during a court case that it in fact stood for Chick Magnet, making us wish we never found out at all. Sometimes the mystery is better left as just that. Looking for more out of wrestling, the young upstart eventually left the Lunatic Wrestling Federation and signed up to the Steel Dominion Wrestling School in Chicago. It was there that he met Scott Colton, more familiar to wrestling fans as Colt Cabana. The two quickly became best friends.
That's the guy who I mentioned earlier who had the podcast that he did the podcast with.
And spent most of their early careers working alongside one another as both opponents and tag team partners. Punk's home promotion during these early years was IWA Mid-South, where, as well as having memorable feuds with Cabana, he also took on the likes of Chris Hero, AJ Styles, and Eddie Guerrero. After becoming a 5-time heavyweight champion for the promotion, he quit in protest of notorious scumbag Ian Rotten's treatment of his friend Hero, showing Punk's willingness to stick to his morals no matter what, even at the cost of a job. After this, he joined Ring of Honor, where he brought his straight-edge lifestyle to the forefront of his wrestling character by feuding with Raven, berating him for his drug and alcohol issues over the years throughout the program. The whole thing climaxed in a steel cage match in November 2003. From there, he rocketed up the ranks of the company, winning the tag team titles twice with Colt Cabana. He also spent a brief period with TNA, though in characteristic fashion, this came to an end when Punk quit the company in protest over them trying to stop the wrestlers from working with other promotions on the side. Back in Ring of Honor, though, he and Samoa Joe would put on 3 classic bouts in short succession, gaining the attention of tape-trading wrestling fans everywhere and putting them on the map for the first time. The first 2 bouts ended in 60-minute time limit draws, with the second one becoming Ring of Honor's highest-selling DVD release of the time. This match also received 5 stars in Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter for 7 years. The third and final match of the series would end with Joe getting the win, though both men's stock has risen significantly as a result. Inevitably, this caught the attention of WWE, who offered Punk a tryout match on May 9th, 2005. He impressed the right people and worked out a deal to start with the company soon afterwards, though still made sure he could work his previously booked indie dates before coming over. To the surprise of fans who were already aware he had signed the big-time contract, Punk would then go on to beat Austin Aries and win the Ring of Honor World title. This began the summer of Punk, where the new champ mocked both the ROH locker room and fans as he threatened to quit the company and take the belt with him to WWE. He even went as far in a show of disrespect to the promotion that had made him an indie darling. This was the hottest story the company had seen at the time and brought a lot of eyeballs to them, as some felt Punk might actually appear on WWE TV with the belt. Of course, he eventually lost it to James Gibson. However, the Summer of Punk still stands as one of the most engrossing storylines in the history of independent wrestling. There have been attempts to recreate it since, with the likes of AJ Styles and TNA, as we covered in our recent video on him, and Punk once again in WWE, though none of them were able to capture the same lightning in a bottle a second time. After this, the newly signed WWE superstar reported to Ohio Valley Wrestling, the company's developmental promotion at the time. Here, he found quick success, becoming the television champion on November 9th, 2005, and later the world champion on May 3rd, 2006. He subsequently defended the world title against future WWE superstars like The Miz and Ken Kennedy, but of course, Punk was destined for bigger things than just this. On June 24th, 2006, he made his debut on ECW, or at least the WWE reboot of ECW, in a house show match where he was victorious over Stevie Richards. Only a couple of weeks later, he made his television debut for the hardcore brand, cutting a promo to introduce audiences to his straight edge character. Even more notable here, though, is the fact that he got to keep his indie name, something which was almost unheard of at the time, as Vince McMahon notoriously liked to have control over his intellectual properties. During his
Not
early
surprising.
days at ECW, he went on an undefeated streak, quickly getting himself over with fans for his in-ring work, great verbal skills, and standout gimmick. Punk had always been popular with hardcore fans, but now he was proving he could be just as popular with general audiences too. He even ended up getting a spot on the 2006 Survivor Series pay-per-view, where he teamed with D-Generation X and the Hardy Boys to take on Rated RKO, Mike Knox, Johnny Nitro, and Gregory Helms. Considering the star power in the ring that night, it probably surprised some backstage that Punk got the loudest reactions from the live crowd, with Triple H even being forced to acknowledge it and put him over in a pre-match promo. He was rewarded with another pay-per-view appearance at the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania 23, and later that year, he became ECW champion. The title had recently been vacated, and the new champion was to be decided by a tournament. The finals were originally intended to take place on the June 24, 2007 Vengeance Night of Champions pay-per-view, with Punk taking on Chris Benoit. However, this would be the weekend where Benoit murdered himself and his family, so that obviously never got a chance to happen. Though Punk would have the unfortunate distinction of being the last person to appear on TV with the Crippler. Instead, Johnny Nitro took Benoit's spot, where Nitro would go on to win the match in only 8 minutes to become the new ECW champion. The backstage rumors that management saw nothing big in Punk's future were looking more and more true. It's been said that neither Vince McMahon nor Triple H saw him as a big-time star, believing he was too small and wouldn't make it on Raw or SmackDown. Allegedly, McMahon at one point even told Paul Heyman, the previous head writer of ECW, to fire Punk, with Punk's job only being saved after Heyman refused. However, Punk would eventually go on to win the title on the September 4th, 2007 edition of ECW TV, where he would go on to have a successful run with the belt, perhaps impressing the bosses backstage in the process, as he would hold on to the title for 143 days, putting on some top-notch performances as champion. However, Punk's real test would come once he made it onto the main roster. Now, it's not to say that Punk didn't have success once he was drafted over to Raw on June 23, 2008. A few months prior to that, he had won the Money in the Bank ladder match, giving him a world's title shot at a time of his choosing, and he would cash in that opportunity to win the belt on his second week on Raw. Even when he lost it after a 69-day reign, he was protected in defeat, getting kayfabe injured by Randy Orton and having to forfeit the title. He also got big wins over main eventers like Batista and JBL, and became both a tag team champion with Kofi Kingston and an Intercontinental champion too. On top of all this, he won the Money in the Bank contract for the second year in a row at WrestleMania 25, later cashing that in on Jeff Hardy after he was drafted to SmackDown and winning the world's title for a second time.
Nice.
The issue was that during these title reigns, he was never treated like a top guy, always playing second fiddle to someone else and never feeling like a serious threat. Maybe it was Vince McMahon's perceived lack of faith in him. Punk certainly didn't help himself with his backstage attitude though, notoriously being difficult with writers and producers backstage on the regular. He has since responded to these allegations by saying he was just trying to prove himself to his bosses. For all its disappointment, the second world title run did feature a great storyline between him and Hardy, playing up Jeff's addiction issues and Punk's sobriety. It was probably the best angle that he had been featured in while with the company at that point. He would get an even better program to sink his teeth into, however, when, after losing the world's title to The Undertaker, he formed the Straight Edge Society on November 27th, 2009.
Yeah.
A group of holier than thou.
I remember seeing clips of this. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Just, I don't really know how to describe it. A little bit different, I guess.
Whose ranks also included Luke Gallows and current NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb. As part of this gimmick, Punk took to regularly preaching his superior lifestyle to the audience, even memorably holding a sermon during the 2010 Royal Rumble match. After this, he feuded with Rey Mysterio, a program that ended at that year's Over the Limit pay-per-view, whereas, per the stipulation, a losing Punk had to shave his head. This proved to be a great way for the heel to get further heat, as he would now come to the ring wearing a black mask and denying fans the satisfaction of seeing his new appearance. These teases continued for a while until he was eventually unmasked by The Big Show on July 16th, And soon after this, the Straight Edge Society gimmick would be dropped after Serena Deeb was released from her contract. At this point in his career, you could certainly have made an argument that this was likely to be the peak of Punk's WWE run. A thoroughly entertaining angle that featured some great matches, showed off his excellent promo skills, and got over with fans.
Yeah.
By this point, few believed that the company saw him as WWE Championship material, so if this was as high as he was going to go, then it was a small success. Little did they know what was coming next.
Yeah.
In June 2011, CM Punk revealed on WWE TV that his WWE contract was expiring and that he would not be signing a new one. While this was being used as a storyline, it also happened to be the truth. He was burned out with the backstage politics and was also unhappy with his position on the card, so intended to quit and go train in MMA. As a way of trying to convince him to stay, the company put the frustrated star in a WWE title program with John Cena, and a match was set for that year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view in Chicago, Punk's hometown. It also coincidentally happened to fall on the very last day of his contract. This was where reality and fiction started to bleed together in a way that only pro wrestling can achieve, and when it does, it's magical. On the June 27th edition of Raw, Punk attacked Cena, then walked up the ramp and sat down cross-legged with a mic in his hands. From there, he cut his now iconic pipe bomb promo, shattering the fourth wall and lambasting the company's backstage politics that had caused him to quit. He called out The Rock for returning and taking a WrestleMania main event spot away from other performers. He raged over the hypocrisy of the company's anti-bullying campaign. He referenced Ring of Honor, Colt Cabana, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. He told the world that WWE would only get better after Vince McMahon was dead, all before his mic was cut off. The internet was instantly abuzz about whether or not a note even went up on the WWE website saying that Punk had been suspended for his comments. What was happening? The reality was that Vince McMahon was still trying to get Punk to sign a new contract, so hoped to appease him by building up a title match unlike any other. He told him to go out with a live mic and air his grievances unscripted on live TV, and this is exactly what Punk did. While it was planned, he meant every word, and people could feel this. It became all wrestling fans could talk about. In the space of one promo, he had become the biggest star in wrestling, and now his upcoming title match with John Cena at Money in the Bank, which would once again go ahead after Cena's storyline convinced McMahon to reinstate Punk, became the biggest event the company had promoted in years. He returned from his storyline suspension to tell everyone that he had still not signed a new contract, which in reality he had not, and that he was going to win the title and abscond with it, effectively recreating his Summer of Punk story from years before, except now on a far bigger stage. What made this whole thing so special was that there was just enough reality injected into the situation that at times you genuinely couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. At Money in the Bank, in front of a hometown crowd, CM Punk came out to an electric crowd reaction. And as he sat in the ring and soaked in the adoration, Cena came out to absolutely nuclear heat. The commentary team informed us that Punk had still not signed a new contract, and as far as the audience knew, he really hadn't. No one had any idea what was going to happen. When Punk pinned Cena to win the WWE title after 34 minutes, the roof blew off the place. McMahon immediately got a headset at ringside and ordered Alberto Del Rio to come out and cash in his Money in the Bank contract before Punk could leave, but it was no good.
I wonder if CM Punk was actually supposed to win that match. Like if it was in the storyline that he won, but then Alberto Del Rio, but then it was in the kind of storyline that Alberto Del Rio would come and cash in the Money in the Bank contract and then win the championship. Come to think of it, that's probably what was supposed to happen. But if you saw what happened after CM Punk won the match, you would see that he actually stopped Alberto Del Rio from cashing in his contract. Therefore, CM Punk actually just left after that. Like, left the whole building because his contract expired.
Del Rio out and then left through the crowd, blowing Vince a kiss goodbye on the way. It was masterful. This whole story, from pipe bomb to title win, is arguably the best thing WWE have done over the last 20 years, and the match itself received 5 stars in Dave Meltzer reviews. The first WWE match to do so since 1997, and the second time Punk would get that accolade. The reality was that he had signed a new contract, though negotiations were still ongoing as the show went on the air that night. After the match, people were buzzing, and many lapsed fans found themselves interested again for the first time in years. There was even talk that this story could trigger a new boom period. Punk was white hot, and on the verge of capturing the cultural zeitgeist the same way Steve Austin had over a decade before. People wondered where he would go with the belt, hoping for him to play out the story for months, showing up at indie shows and proclaiming himself to be the real WWE champion. It should also be noted that this was the period when John Cena almost turned heel to build up to his upcoming WrestleMania match with The Rock, even going as far as to get new gear made before the idea was nixed. Just think, there's an alternative universe out there where Cena had a Hulk Hogan-level heel turn and CM Punk became the new Steve Austin tier babyface, returning to the company to reclaim his spot after months of making random appearances elsewhere, and skyrocketing the company back to levels of popularity it had been basking in during the late 90s. Unfortunately, this isn't what happened. Punk came back 3 weeks later, lost the title to a Money in the Bank cash-in from Alberto Del Rio at SummerSlam, then got stuck in a dead-end feud with Kevin Nash and Triple H, where the game bafflingly beat him, killing much of Punk's heat in the process. By the time he did get the belt back at that year's Survivor Series, it was too late. WWE had been handed a once-in-a-generation opportunity and had squandered it. Punk was still a star, of course, but he should have been a supernova, and this would fester in the back of his mind up until the point where he would walk out of the company a few years later.
Yeah, but one of the notable things about CM Punk's career is that if you listen to the podcast that he had, in the story that CM Punk told, he said that Vince McMahon basically said 3 times, if you do this, then I'll owe you one. And from Punk's perspective, it's like he did all this for Vince McMahon, and all he wanted was a main event of WrestleMania. And there's even talk after the once-in-a-lifetime Rock versus Cena WrestleMania main event match, where next year it would have been a triple threat main event WrestleMania match between Cena, The Rock, and of course CM Punk. And even on the podcast, he was like, just put me in the match and have somebody pin me in 5 seconds. I don't care. I mean, that's what he said. He really did have this kind of attitude where he just really wished that a lot of other superstars got a lot more opportunities. There was a point in CM Punk's career where he essentially told Vince McMahon, Daniel Bryan is white hot now, like I was how I was like a couple years ago or something like that. And CM Punk was so excited that that Daniel Bryan finally that eventually he got to main event WrestleMania, because now they can never take that away from him.
This didn't happen quite yet, though. He would go on a legendary 334-day run as WWE champion, having great title defenses against the likes of Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan. The title reign lasted so long, in fact, that he even turned heel and picked up Paul Heyman as a manager during it. Throughout it all, though, he was always second fiddle to John Cena, rarely main eventing big shows, and never feeling like the star that he should have been. When he eventually lost the belt to The Rock at the 2013 Royal Rumble, hardcore fans sacrificed back then. Punk was happy too. seeing the decision as short-sighted considering the fact that The Rock was now a part-timer and he was there week in and week out.
Yeah, it's like Punk puts away The Rock, then he goes away, and then Punk puts away Undertaker, he goes away, and he puts away Brock, and he goes away. You know, like Punk is like, how is losing to part-timers increasing my stock value in the eyes of the casual viewer? Which in Punk's eyes is who WWE cares about. And that's a really good point to bring up, you know?
He begged WWE to be included in the upcoming WrestleMania main event between the two, turning it into a three-way and allowing him to check that final box off his bucket list.
Actually, The Rock I believe The Rock actually thought that was a good idea as well, to have it a three-way triple threat match.
The company refused, however. Instead, he got to challenge for The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, a bout which ended up being the best thing on the card that night, with Triple H even allegedly telling him afterwards that he should have main evented. This was little...
I know I'm pausing a lot, but thinking of that podcast again, you know, like CM Punk talked about this, and whenever he was told that, he's like, you better fucking pay me like I did. Like that was his attitude, you know? Like so many things have gone wrong for Punk over the stretch of his career, where it's like, it's almost like from his perspective, it's like, I'm gonna say whatever the heck I want to say, and you know, like he actually won a lawsuit, I believe, or some sort of dispute between him and WWE in regards to a doctor. There was this. He actually had like a full-blown staph infection that wouldn't have been there, or wouldn't have been as bad as it was if the that specific doctor that he went to just treated it. You know, it got to the point where, according to Punk, it was the size of a baseball and was purple and green. And what Punk also said is that his wife encouraged him to go to her doctor, and that's whenever he found out it was a staph infection. And then whenever the doctor asked how long he's had it for, I believe Punk said like around 3 months or whatever, and then the doctor's like and then according to Punk, the doctor said like, you should be dead. Like, so like staph infections are no joke.
Solace to Punk, though, he was unhappy. He was burned out. He had tried to spark something new in the industry and usher in another boom period. He had tried to change the culture and bring more reality to the increasingly cartoonish product. He had tried to lead a new movement of mainstream success in wrestling, but WWE seemed intent on cutting the legs off him at every opportunity. He didn't know what to do next. As a result of this, he went on a short hiatus. When he returned, he had visibly stopped caring, now sporting unkempt hair and giving fans performances that often felt like he was just going through the motions. His last WWE appearance came at the 2014 Royal Rumble. The night after, he showed up backstage at Raw and told Vince McMahon and Triple H that he was leaving and would not be coming back. He later did a tell-all podcast with Colt Cabana, burning every remaining bridge with the company and accusing them of medical negligence, as he said he had been working with a staph infection which they had been hesitant to treat for fear it would take him off the road. This eventually led to a very bitter court case which ended with Punk and Cabana winning, but at the cost of their friendship. Punk's wife AJ Lee, also a WWE superstar, later left the company too when her contract expired, feeling it was too awkward to remain there with everything that was going on. CM Punk moved on from wrestling after this, going on to fulfill a dream of his by competing in the UFC, competing in 2 separate bouts with the company. Once in 2016 where he was defeated by Mickey Gall, and then again in 2018 in another losing effort against Mike Jackson before retiring from the sport of MMA. He would also write some comic books for Marvel.
Oh
in this
yeah,
time,
I forgot
and
about
picked up
that.
some acting parts, recently having his first starring role in the indie horror film The Girl on the Third Floor. However, despite insisting that he never would, he eventually did return to WWE, sort of, by way of Fox Sports, signing a contract with them as an analyst on the network's talk show WWE Backstage. This led many fans to turn on Punk and label him a hypocrite. Even to this day, there's perhaps no one in wrestling more divisive, even all these years after he left. To some, he's a hero, a rebel who tried to rebuild the system for the better. To others, he's a villain, a man who sold out his principles and screwed over friends like Colt Cabana with his bitter attitude. However you feel about him, the truth is that he may not have been able to beat the system, but he was able to change things for the better just a little bit. When he walked out on the company, it forced them to rethink that year's WrestleMania plans. This eventually led to Daniel Bryan's now iconic title win. Had Punk not walked, the reality is that this probably would have never happened. His post-exit podcast also highlighted the independent contractor status WWE wrestlers have, not entitling them to healthcare. He's also been widely regarded as the man who, along with Daniel Bryan, was responsible for WWE changing their attitudes towards smaller indie wrestlers becoming real stars within the company. Without him, we may have never seen the likes of AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, or Kevin Owens reach the levels they have. Yes, the truth of the matter was that in many ways, CM Punk's war to change the culture was successful. He just had to leave the WWE in order to achieve it. Well guys, what did you think of the video? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, as well as follow Wrestle with Andy on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, that was a good video. But again, like, you know, like if you want me to react to that podcast that I mentioned and that was put in the video here, just let me know. And if enough people want to see it, then I'll react to it. Simple as that. So, but yeah, good video. I think it did a pretty good job of going through his career, all in all. Yeah, there's not really too much other than what he said that I could add. I mean, other than what I've already added to begin with. So, but yeah, overall, pretty good video. All right, so I know it is 7 p.m. AST, but there's actually one more thing I want to do. I want to react to the Hikaru subreddit because I haven't done that in a while. So I'm just gonna quickly change the scene here. If I can do that, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna do another Reddit React. I want to do the top of this week. There's actually a post that is 713 upvotes. What? Hikaru when they miss mate in 27. Let's turn the volume on. My God. That is really weird, but mostly creepy. Alright, let's move on. Let's be honest, Hikaru could have easily blocked that, but he literally doesn't care. What? Magnus and Hikaru play basketball? What? Oh my gosh. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Queen Elizabeth quips she can't move too much. Yeah, but you see, there's a big difference between a chess or a chess. No, a queen in chess and a queen in real life. You guys, like, come on.
Okay.
Wait, what's this?
Okay, so I was lying there with my legs wide apart, and then he told me.
Oh my God.
Yes, Oh, yes, this is very nice.
Oh my god. Are you serious? Oh my god. That is... No. True fact, 100% of Afghan people beat Hikaru on chess.com. Games won accuracy 9.2. Oh, he lost this game. Oh. Well, this isn't actually a true fact because this is only one person who's played him, not the entire population, so nice try. Hikaru perfectly predicts Wesley So's black shirt and blue jacket combo during the FIDE Grand Prix finals, counters with brilliant inverted color scheme, leading to a quick draw in game 1. As soon as I saw this, I kind of could predict what the rest of the chat here is going to say. But this is really funny. This is actually really funny. What if we drew the bomb cloud in... What if we drew the bomb cloud opening in r/place? Huh? Okay, if there's a joke here, it's I'm overlooking it because I don't see it. Anyway, Red Bull calling Hikaru some random this guy is the most outrageous thing I've seen in a while. Red Bull sponsors this guy to play chess. Well, to be honest with you guys, like Hikaru actually has been sponsored by Red Bull in the past. They're not sponsoring him now, but they have in the past. Bruh. Robert Bobby Fischer. Women are as good as men in chess. There's just a systemic issue of misogyny towards and a lack of opportunity for women. Well, is there? I mean, I don't really hear of chess tournaments in which it's only women. So maybe in the chess world it is true. If it is true, I'd definitely say it's a less of an issue in all the industries that I can think of. Anyway, there is no distracting the man. Means that will help you get a girlfriend? Okay, but the thing is that he's not looking up here. He's just looking up, thinking about what sequence of moves he wants to go with. Wait, the channel's called Memes These Nuts? What? That's so weird. Awkward handshake mementos. This is what rock, paper, scissors would look like if speedrunners played it. Yeah, probably. Wait, what? Ayo, leaked footage of Magnus preparing for his chess boxing match against Hikaru. What? Okay. Apparently Magnus is athletic. I mean, we've even seen him play a bit of basketball earlier. LMAO, me. I'll study chess for 3 hours straight with full focus. Focus. That's 1 minute. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So proud. Haters. Hikaru doing well in Germanu. Yeah, I thought of doing a meme like this. I don't really think this is an appropriate template to use, but, you know. Andrea and Alexandra Botes bullying a little kid over the board. Oh no. This is gonna be bad.
So your king is under attack. You have to move him. You could block or run away. Right here. Oh.
Okay. Well, chess is a challenging game, you know? Wait, what? Hikaru's intro riff is actually kind of sick, so I learned it kind of. Also, phone records like something. Okay. Not bad, actually, yeah. That's not bad, actually. Yeah, nice. Whoops. Not like this, Hikaru. What? Wait, there's somebody on Reddit called Hikaru for president? What? Hikaru wouldn't... I don't think Hikaru would ever run for president, by the way. But anyway. Not like this, Hikaru. Okay. Oh, come on.
Yes. Oh, yes. This is very nice.
What? That's so bad. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Alright, you guys, that's going to be Reddit React for this week. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Hope you guys that have enjoyed this entire stream. I want to react to a bunch of stuff. Well, I guess I did. But yeah, it's I enjoyed the stream. I hope that you guys have as well. I'm just gonna quickly upvote all of these. Oh. Excuse me. All right. So that's gonna be it for today's stream, you guys. Just wanted to stream for a bit, react to some stuff. But yeah, I'm not too sure when I'll be live next. Hopefully I'll stream at least once or twice this week coming for you guys. And I also have a YouTube channel. You guys can find that in the about section of my Twitch page. I also have a schedule as to you know, mark down when I'm recording, editing, and streaming and all that. So if you guys want to see that, you can find the link to that document in the description of my most recent YouTube videos. But yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys either in my next stream or in my videos. Alright, see you there, guys. Bye.